Hello again. So the last video kind of ended because the clip was getting too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and divide these videos into two. So yeah, the previous video would be part one, this one part two, and we still have a few things to cover as far as the interior features go. But one thing I'm going to do right now quickly is, because it's hot, there's another cool thing you could do with these BMWs, and I think you could do with a lot of cars nowadays, is if you press and hold the unlock button, it starts. Put all your windows down. My camera's not zooming in, but it's a great feature to have on those hot days like today, where the sun is absolutely shining above my head. You can air it out. It opens the sunroof too, but I had my sunroof tilted, so otherwise it opens the sunroof completely. So let's get back here. Alright, so for some more interesting things about the interior of the E39 540i, back seats over here, very, 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 very comfortable and very spacious, I must say. So the seat position as it sits right now is my preference. Again, I'm the only one that drives my car, so sitting behind me, I'm 5'5", and I'm sitting behind myself here. I have, if I'm sitting comfortably, I have a handspan and a half almost worth of space back here. So for all you tall folks out there, if somebody's, you know, a lot taller than I am, closer to 6 foot or taller, you can have passengers sitting here pretty comfortably. There's a good amount of headroom as well as leg room in the E39. So it's a great daily driver once again, and great for loading on passengers and going for a nice getaway or a trip, whatever. Behind the seats you have some storage. I tend to keep my maintenance documents, parts purchased, whatever, back here. And so there's those tweeters I was mentioning in the previous video in part one. So those are the ones for the back, for the rear doors, rear passenger doors. There's no airbags back here in the doors, so kind of sucks for the rear passengers. Again, interior is held up very nicely because I don't carry a lot of people around all the time, so 95% of my driving is just me, myself, and I. Good amount of storage in the map pockets there, and then you have a little bit of an ashtray here as well. Let me close this door here. So have a little bit of an ashtray here, and then you can kind of put your phone here or something else of relevance. And then your window control, again, one touch for up or down. Back here you have the center armrest. My car, because it was a Canadian car, has the cold weather package, so I have the ski pass over here. You just pull this leather panel down, nice leather, and then you could pull this panel down, and then you have basically your bags. You also, it comes with a bag, so if you push this down, you see I've never used it, but you can see that it's a nice little pass through for your skis. And then there's a nice bag here, very thoughtful for those of you folks that go skiing. You can store them nicely in this little bag, and when you don't use it anymore, you can just kind of put that back there, grab this, and put your armrest back up. You could probably put something in here as well or whatever. 3 seat belts. You can have somebody in the middle here, preferably somebody who doesn't mind sitting because of the drive shaft tunnel over here. So again, it's a rear wheel drive car, and all of them have the same sort of setup. Climate vents over here, again the same rotary dial, hot, cold, and then you can have them off, on, and little storage here for somebody who wants to put their cell phone back here. What else? Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to show the seat controls. So the rear seats here are obviously not, they don't have any controls, but I will say one thing is, a lot of E39s, and I was surprised to find this out, because a buddy of mine also has a 1998 E39, the older pre-facelift model with a non-Vanos engine, And his car does not come with fold down seats. In fact, you can't fold any of them down. And then I think he does have the ski pass, but again, useless if you're actually hauling around big stuff. My car does have the fold down seats, so apparently it was some sort of an option. And then back here you have the child seat locks, the tether locks, and then you also have the woofers back there and speaker and your third brake light. And then over here you have a little map light, and then you have your actual interior light. Coat hangers I already mentioned, so let's go to the seats. Let's go check out the seat controls, and then let me tell you about the great amount of ways you can adjust your seat to your comfort level. So here are the front seats, and I mentioned in part 1 that I don't have the actually I didn't even mention it, so okay, so I didn't mention in part 1, but now I'm going to mention it. These are the comfort seats. You could get these in the sport, you could get the sports seats as well, which the only difference is, of course, is there's a difference of material, and then there's also, those are a little bit more tighter, they hug you a lot more, they have a lot more bolstering on them, and then they also have thigh extensions or thigh bolstering, and the button for that would be located here. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I know my car is dirty, this is a daily driver, and I promise you I have not gotten the time to show love and clean my baby, but I will do that. I gotta clean up these seats as well, so please forgive me for that. Definitely not eye candy. Alright, let's go through the buttons here. So, as I mentioned, I don't have leg extensions or thigh extensions, so that button would otherwise be where that little plastic panel is. First button to the left over here, these controls are for your whole seat. So if you push this button to the left or push it to the right, it will move your seat forwards or backwards in a straight axis. And then this over here is to pivot your seat up or down, not tilt it, pivot it. And then to the right over here, if you push the button up or down, adjusts the height of your seat. Over here in the middle, if you push this button up or down, it controls the movement of your headrest, so you can even adjust your headrest, which is pretty cool. And then push this button forward or backwards, and that controls your back tilt. And then right here, this round button over here has 4 adjustments for your lumbar: up, down, left, right, how much you want your lumbar adjustment to come out and how far back you want it, and then where you want it up or down to your lower back. And then this one is very interesting. Push this button forwards or backwards, and that basically controls this half of your seat right here. So you can make some shoulder adjustments to keep your shoulders comfortable. So again, these are great seats. They're very comfortable. Definitely, this car was definitely made to go not only on the Autobahn, but pretty much any highway, coast to coast. You could take a trip in this and you can be comfortable. Seats are great, and they're very, very adjustable. So I really do like the seats. The sports seats I think are a little bit firmer, but I guess that would work out for most people. Handbrake, nice and leather wrapped. Leather over here as well. What else? We already covered this section over here in the first part of the video. So do check that out if you haven't done so already. A little bit dirty here, but this is the actual flap that controls, so that either closes or opens your vent over here for some more air, and it feeds off from here. German engineering, I guess. So what I also forgot to mention was that your pillars also have airbags in them. I mentioned the door airbags, and then there's also the obvious airbags, the steering wheel airbag, and then the front passenger dashboard airbag. But there's also airbags in the pillar. So definitely a very, very safe car. Again, this is not only a daily driver, but you could use it for, you know, it's a great family car as well. And yes, it will baby, for sure. Why not? You could put some pretty big baby seats back there for sure, which is great if you have kids. If you don't have the key in the car, you could just tilt it and you can lock the steering wheel. And of course, once you put the key in and turn it, it will come out of the lock, and then you are able to turn the wheel. Let's get to the trunk. So here's that button I was talking about. You press it and it opens, or you can use the other 3 methods of opening the trunk described in the first part of my video. Alright, as you can see, without exaggerating, I think I can fit myself, I think I can have a pretty decent nap in there. It's a pretty big trunk, and again, there's that ski pass there. And the seats are foldable as well, fold down. So really good trunk space. You could put a couple of big suitcases in there. I know I've done that when I've gone on longer trips, and it's just awesome. I'm missing the net over here. You get like a little cargo net. I don't have that. I'm missing that. So, but that should help you help keep your groceries or your stuff, whatever, in place without, you know, jiggling everything around your trunk. Let's see now. This panel here. I mentioned that 6 CD changer in part 1. Well, here it is in all its glory. So you just slide that and you have a CD slot in there. You have a CD cartridge in there, and you can load up to 6 CDs, and then you can also put one more up front there. Again, that's if you listen to CDs in 2017. Well, I don't. So the other panel over here, this is where your battery is, right down there. Pretty big battery. Well, you need a lot of you need a big battery to fire up that big V8, right? And so and then over here are some other wires, some fuse panels here, and then over here are all your bulbs for your rear tail lights. So very easy to change out those bulbs. And you know what, I should probably mention this car is really not that hard to work on. So if you're a DIY type of person like me and you enjoy working on your cars, and I'm not necessarily talking about the big crazy jobs, which I'll probably make a video of at some point, but you know, for the most part, you can do a lot of stuff on this car yourself. You don't have to take it to a mechanic, really, if you're a little bit handy and got a few tools. This panel lifts up. It lifts up one way, and then you can lift up the whole thing. And then over here you have a spare tire. The E39 M5s don't come with a spare tire because of weight savings and whatnot. So I guess that's one thing the 540i owners can argue against E39 M5 owners. Your jack, and if you did remove this wheel, you'd have a pretty large area over here. Very dirty, and then of course the spare tire has never been used. So yeah, trunk storage is absolutely amazing in this car. It is huge. So, oh yeah, typical BMW fashion. You know, you have your toolkit, and surprisingly, a lot of the smaller jobs, like, you know, opening up your headlights or some of the interior panels, you could use these 2 open-end wrenches, as well as the screwdriver over here to open up a lot of things in the car, as well as the engine bay. So I've definitely used them many times. Then you have your lug nut opener, as well as your tow hook. I'm missing a few things in here, but I don't know how much more useful some of those missing tools would be. But yeah, there's the 5th way of opening your trunk, like I mentioned the first part of this video series. If you ever get kidnapped. And another neat thing here is when you want to close the trunk, there's a little bit of a panel here inside. You can just use that. If your hands are dirty, you won't get it on your paint. So you can use that to close. And there's your button right here to open up your trunk. So, oops. And there's your, you know, to open up your trunk manually, use the key. So I think that's about it, guys. That's pretty much all the cool features, neat features that this car came with. So yeah, definitely very luxurious. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for putting up with my voice as well as my bad camera control. But really, I do plan to make more videos. And again, if you have any suggestions for what you want to see, and just let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hopefully I can turn out some more videos of my baby. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. Have a good one.